Is it possible that the coddling of the American mind might have implications for us Christians? Welcome back to Wretched, a rather provocative, well-researched, kind of funny, and yet, in my opinion, rather disturbing article at The Atlantic describing the coddling of the American mind, giving examples of how the kids on university campuses, in other words, an entire generation, is being trained. We have become so sensitive, so thoughtful, that we can't do anything that might offend anybody. And this is not just an occasional circumstance. This is happening a lot. Example number 4, in 2013, a student group at UCLA staged a sit-in during a class taught by Val Rust, an education professor. The group read a letter aloud expressing their concerns about the campus's hostility towards students of color. And even though the professor, Rust, was not explicitly named, the group quite clearly criticized his teaching as microaggressive. In the course of correcting his students' grammar and spelling, this is his crime, Professor Rust had noted that a student had wrongly capitalized the first letter of the word indigenous. Lowercasing the capital I was an insult to the student and her ideology, the group claimed. The professor disciplined because he corrected grammar and triggered and caused a microaggression. Uh-oh. Example number 5, even joking about microaggressions can be seen as aggression. It's funny, but it's not, because I'm telling you, we could be in really big trouble if this keeps up. Last fall, Omar Mahmoud, a student at the University of Michigan, wrote a satirical column for a conservative student publication called the Michigan Review, poking fun at what he saw as a campus tendency to perceive microaggressions in just about anything. I think he was right. Mahmoud was also employed at the campus newspaper, the Michigan Daily, and the Daily's editors said that the way he had satirically mocked the experiences of fellow Daily contributors and minority communities on campus created a conflict of interest. The Daily fired him after he described the incident to 2 websites, The College Fix and the Daily Caller. Wait, it gets better. A group of women later vandalized his doorway with eggs, hot dogs, gum, and notes with messages such as, "Everyone hates you, you violent blank." Apparently that's not a microaggression. When speech comes to be seen as a form of violence, vindictive protectiveness can justify a hostile and perhaps even violent response. Do you see how this two-way street doesn't operate? If you offend a particular group of people, and I think it's just safe to categorize them as more liberal-minded, more progressive, more Greenpeace-y, more environmentally friendly, more vegan-like, you have triggered them, you've caused them to feel bad, they've suffered a microaggression, and we can punish you because your crime was so intolerant. Ironically. One more just for yucks, number 6. At the University of Central Florida, 2013, this gentleman, an accounting instructor, Juan, how do you say that? Jung. Exactly, that guy. An accounting instructor was suspended after a student reported that Zhong had made a threatening comment during a review session. Well, that's not good. Zhong explained to the Orlando Sentinel that the material he was reviewing was difficult. And he noticed the pained look on students' faces, so he made a joke. Not a good one, but here it is. "It looks like you guys are being slowly suffocated by these questions." That's what he said. Am I on a killing spree or what? Okay, just based on timing, and not a great thing to say, but here was the response. After the student reported Zhong's comment, a group of nearly 20 other students emailed the administration explaining the comment was a joke. Nevertheless, the university suspended Zhong from all university duties and demanded that he obtain written certification from a mental health professional that he was not a threat to himself or to the university community before he would be allowed to return to campus. Now, why should you and I, Christian, be aware of what is going on university campuses. Why should we care that a professor who makes kind of a lame joke that was perceived wrongly by one student, corrected by 20 others, was dismissed from his job, in other words, punished, and in order to return, he had to receive a note from a mental professional? Why should that concern us? Check out this headline. Homophobic people often have psychological issues. That's not good. A new study of university students in Italy, Rome specifically, revealed that people who have strongly negative views of gay people also have higher levels of psychoticism and inappropriate coping mechanisms than those who are accepting of homosexuality. Uh-oh. Is it possible that those people with the mental illness of thinking that homosexuality is a sin could actually qualify for needing treatment, and we can't work in a university because we have a mental illness? The article continued, "This doesn't mean that homophobic people are psychotic," said the authors of the study. Rather, psychoticism is a personality trait marked by hostility, anger, and aggression toward others. But the study does suggest that people who cling to homophobic views have some psychological issues, from lead researcher Emanuele Giannini, an endocrinologist and medical sexologist at the University of Rome. Okay, first of all, there's a degree in that. Hey, son, what are you going to be studying at the university? Well, I'm going to become a medical sexologist, Dad. Hey, boy, tell that to your kids, son. This is a little bit on the troubling side. I do not read a crystal ball. I'm not a soothsayer. I don't read palms. But isn't the handwriting kind of on the wall? Concluding thought from the supposed study. The study is opening a new research avenue where the real disease to study is homophobia. Christian, is it possible that with our new sensitive culture, who cannot allow a trigger leading to a microaggression, might turn their sights toward, I don't know, you and me?